Big show.
Welcome back to another Linux Gamecast Weekly, the show that covers the latest Linux gaming news, reviews, how-tos, and most importantly, whatever the hell else we come up with. This week, Killing Floor 2 comes to your face organs on the 21st, but is it anything more than an HD remake? And have you ever wanted an autoerotic night-driving game about pleasuring your gay car, ? Well, they made one, and gonads and the lightning, minus the thunder, strife, finally comes to Steam.
The hype train is going off the rails, and Farrell's content to stoke it. Unvanquished gets auto soft. No, that's actually not an innuendo, and too dumb to figure out how to install source mods. Then go Greenlight Transmissions, Element 120.
Learn how to build a Steam machine that's cheaper than a PS4. WCCF Tech just realized what we've all known for a while. Gamers, revolt against what's looking to be yet another underperforming Unity game under Linux. And while I was too busy making assumptions about the show notes, Amazon saved Crytek from a premature death.
Devs to receive Gabe's love child, as in free games. Seems like fair play for message devs, but if they don't already own the titles, where does that leave them? And don't these... Fuck, I fucked that up. Okay, redo it.
Keep going.
Okay. Truck through. Do these open worlds make my assets look big? If you're a hardware upgrade waiting to happen, son, decide upon who pays the tab using axes and arrows. If you like flinging and pointing objects at your friends and loved ones, then this is for you.
I'm Ben Stone, here at LGC Actual, switching the bets all on Linux along with my cohorts, J-Man and Canadia.
Hello.
Hello,
And welcome
baby.
to my
And
show.
Space Portugal!
Hello.
Chiming in.
How you
And
doing?
you wanted him, you asked for him, and he came. Matt Hartley in... what state?
Wherever the fuck I am.
And can't read his linesville.
I can't read, that's right. I can't read English.
And together with Chat Realm Dynamic, the worst of the worst, the darkest of dark, the trolliest of trolls. These people hate us so much they give us money just so they can continue hating us. We form a bit of a cocaine Voltron. Before we get started, we'd like to see what's going on in each other's life organs. I'll start because I did fuck and all this week. Nothing to report on whatsoever, but I think J-Man found a new show.
Oh yeah, no, I got caught up on Better Call Saul earlier today. Instead of preparing for this show, I was watching a better one. And now I slammed into that wall of, shit, I have to wait another year. God damn it. Fuck.
Yeah, still have to get caught up on that one. But no, for me this week, I learned that the laptops with the i7s and the Intel Iris Pros that I was installing Linux on last week are not going to stay with our company. They're going to the parent company. And that left me a bit bitter, to say the least.
And I'm debating on getting a mini fridge for my office and a porta potty while I read Hooked on Phonics.
You know, one thing the horse is always hooked on, and it's not phonics, J-Man.
No, it's hooked on gonads. And strife. Whatever. It's our Steam!
Linux!
Update
of the week. What is this nightmare fuel?
Tell us about it.
Matt?
Yes!
Oh, I'm sorry, I
That's
missed that.
that's enlightening. Yes. Insightful.
I've lost where I'm
Professionals!
Professionals! All right, so we are on that. Okay.
So
Paste-
something about Valve giving free games to Mesa developers? Well, we start with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. What's the deal with that? It's like, it sounds like a really great idea at first, but if you think about it, they already have titles. It really doesn't matter. They already got them. Thing.
Care to elaborate?
Well, okay, so if you don't have a title, right, no title over here, and then they give you a title, that's awesome. But if you already have that game title, and they give you another game title, well, I mean, you can gift it to somebody, but, you know, they may not be able to do that. That kind of sucks.
I don't know. I was looking at that. You know, now the Mesa devs, just like the Debian devs, I was like, oh, they get access to all the Steam games. When I think Steam games, I think the entire library. And I was like, no, just the Steam games. And I was like,
The Valve ones.
yeah, there's a lot of people going, oh, you mean all the ones we've already bought from you, Gavin?
Exactly.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah, we're a good like 8th of them are free to play already. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really even matter even for the paid games because I don't think Valve is making any real significant money off them regardless.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, but well, I mean,
They go
everyone's
on
already
sale
bought
most of
them.
the time.
They've already made their money. They're not making any more these days.
Yeah.
But games are a good way to put the drivers to their paces. Valve is making significant contributions to Mesa because AMD can't get their shit together, and apparently neither can Intel. So they've taken it upon themselves to improve the open source driver space.
Up next,
So, yeah.
do you want to
Up
build a
next,
Steam
we have-
machine?
WCCF Tech. That sounds like a radio station. But yeah, they are teaching everyone how to build a Steam machine that's faster and cheaper than a PS4 and an Xbox One. Well, yeah, if you haven't been paying attention to LGC Weekly for the past, I don't know, month or two,
And
I've
we
had
don't
one
blame
of
you, to be
those.
perfectly honest.
I've had one of those sitting in my PC. You probably saw the pictures show up on Google Plus or in the forums if you like a chat realm static. But yeah, the guys here, they went with there's a price list at the bottom with an Asus A68HM Plus, an Athlon X4 860K, which is the same processor I have on mine. GPU, they have a Power Color Turbo Duo R9270.
What the fuck's the power color? That's what I want to know.
It's racist.
I have no idea, but that's an R9270. And unless you're going to put Windows on it, why the hell are you listening to us in the first place? But you're much better off with a GTX 750 Ti or even a regular old 750. The R9270 that they have here costs exactly the same as an MSI gaming OC 2GB GTX 750 Ti, and it's much faster in both Windows and Linux. So, what the hell?
Well, J-Man, you're using the APU
Yeah.
on yours, right?
Well, I mean, the APU works fine. I like running recent kernels, pre 2000. So I have to stick with the open source drivers, unfortunately. But for most games, and most of the games you actually want to play on the TV with a controller with pals or whoever, it works reasonably well. One thing that does bother me about this article, though, is they really don't make it clear whether they want to throw Windows or SteamOS on here because they say you should play games like Far Cry or Dragon Age, and yeah, you can wind them, but they're primarily Windows.
Actually,
and again,
no,
going with the
Far Cry 4
freaking
because
R9270,
it
that's terrible
uses
for SteamOS.
DirectX 11.
Was
You
it?
know, going forward with this, the one thing I can't get my head around is I'm not really wanting to play these games in my living room. I want to keep this in my office. Like my love life, I want it on my desk with my doors closed, and I want to be left the hell alone with my privacy and my nonsense.
Because you're not the target market for Steam machines.
Well,
I guess not.
Here's what I am, because I am definitely not the target market. I built a Steam box, I think, immediately after J-Man did. I still use APU on that thing. Actually, no, I take that back. I put a 450 in there recently just to fuck around.
Well, don't you have like the spare 972 or not 970?
Yeah, the spare
but,
970.
770.
Yeah, the 770. But I was thinking about this, and I was like, I probably only powered that thing on 10 times. I'm a bit like with a Hartley on that. I was like, yeah, I kind of want to play in front of my big monster rig here. But this, I think, instead of making a Steam box, let's make a Stream box. Intel's PC on the stick. Yeah, well, you can pick this business up for 89 wet, stinky cashes, running Linux out of the box.
It's the gimped version, though. I think it only has half the RAM as the Windows one.
Yeah, but you're thinking all you really need is decent H.264 decoding and decent Wi-Fi.
But then
Boom.
again, the Steam Link will be cheaper.
But
Like
at the same
$50.
time, you don't really know how locked down the Steam Link is.
Right.
Yeah.
So you could do other things with this, like you could run XBMC on here or Plex or whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, this is a full-on x86. I mean, it's like that stupid tablet I bought that was a quad-core.
Yeah, no, the
Bay-Trail.
Broadwell
Right.
Broadwell
Yeah,
Haswell
I-
CPUs that are like crazy undervolted.
Seriously thought about, duct taping that to the back of the big screen in the living room, and I was like, I'll never even use that either. So, are you excited about that stick, Matt? Giggity?
I think specs wise, at least you know what you're getting. I mean, there's certainly some concerns as to whether it's going to be underpowered, overpowered, what that sort of thing. I don't think overpowered is going to be an issue, obviously, but I think that at the end of the day, it serves a purpose. And comparably, when you look at other options that are yet to be released or yet to come out, I think it's pretty cool. I would definitely buy one. I mean, the price point isn't hurting.
No, I like that. Believe it or not, this is, a lot of people are like, but Vin, these have been available as, Chinese sticks for billions of years ago. And here's the thing, though.
They're all ARM and they all run Android.
Well, even the x86 ones, most of them shipped with a pirated version of Windows on it because China, hashtag copyright, fuck you, that's why. So, all right, that's up. Let's talk about Strive.
Donuts in the lightning, in the lightning.
Okay. Now, I saw this pop up. I sent an email because I've been on the alpha, beta, whatever for this.
Yeah, no, we covered this like 2 years ago or something.
Right. And I was like, what is this? It's a MOBA. It's a friendly MOBA. It's a good thing, they say. What is it? You never heard of it? It's a MOBA that features non-stop action, engaging combat, take control of powerful and versatile heroes, each capable of blah, blah, blah. It's a fucking MOBA. So their big take is, we're going to have a good community. And I was like, do you really?
You don't know your target audience.
Good stuff.
So this is an early access, and I was kind of poking around with this, and I was like, free to play. Then hang on, let me fucking finish. $449.17. Then the collector's edition. What does the collector does it bring? Oh right, this is fuck all pay to win. Check this out. To quote. Permanent account boost, doubling your account experience gain and your end of game rewards. I mean,
that's not even subtle,
right, man?
Nope.
I mean, he, like LOL attempts to sort of hide as like, oh well, you can play all the heroes, but you can buy the ones that you want to play more often than not. I don't know. MOBAs are really lost on me. I tried getting into them back when they were starting to become a thing. Never really did.
I did try to play it, and it just nopes. So the next step is
you're not a fan of the clickiness, are you?
Well, I hit that, and I was like, well, all right. Then I launched Steam command line to see what was going on. It's core dumped. I was like, can you give me any more? Brad, can you? It's like, nope, core dump. It's like, fine, all right.
Segmentation fault.
It was brilliant,
Yeah.
P-Man.
Yeah, the exact same thing happened to me. Downloaded it on Steam. Got about halfway into the tutorial. Core dump. Okay, so it's not just me, and apparently, looking at their Steam forums, we're not the only ones either.
Well, it's early access, so you can't fault it.
Did you ever get into MOBAs and all that business?
Not really, no. And when I dug into this one a little deeper, I was really disappointed with their just overall model. It's like, I just felt like they're blowing sunshine up my butt. I mean, I really just wasn't digging it. And then, of course, this whole, buy your way to success stuff, not so much.
I get, like, getting, some, I'm not saying MOBAs, but some freemium games do it right. This is just straight up, it's just like, give us money.
I mean,
Like,
Dota 2 does it
not
right.
even
The only
so.
thing
Characters.
you can actually buy with Dota 2 is skins. It's
Mhm.
not even the
That I would
characters
buy,
themselves.
yeah.
It's just skins. It's just visual stuff.
Delicious,
So, yeah.
delicious skins.
They're really successful with hats and TF2, so I mean, it makes
Right.
sense that they would go.
That too.
But anyways, speaking of death and wasted time,
Tide comes in, Tide rolls out. You can't explain that. Dying Light. You might remember this from that $59 wet stinky game I bought, and it's zombie parkour basically. Well, we got a new patch. It's no longer 1.5, it's 1.5.1. And for Linux, it fixed some cross play, user damn chat, quick travel players have basic UV block and horde skill fixed. Let's see what this thing still clocks in at here.
That's
No.
the exact same.
Oh, Ultimate Edition now.
or you can get or the 4-pack for $200. Yeah.
4 times. the
Wow.
display.
And, P-Man is just right in here in the notes. He was like, if you put it on minimum settings, you can get up to 40 FERPs. I was like, well, on my 980, Brad, I get the same FERPs at 1080p as I do at 3160. So something is fucking busted, and I'm guessing it's their ability to figure out how do I AMD, Brad. And when I say that, I'm talking CPU, not GPU. That would be a bit more acceptable. But with this business, I took the Pepsi challenge on this. I've had this game for months now. I've never been able to fucking play it because I refuse to play a game that can barely hit fucking 40 frames per second at 1080p with a 980. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on this,
I
anyone?
still haven't bought it exactly because of that reason. And the moment that I saw the news about this patch coming out, I went to the Steam forums and I'm like, yeah, people are still complaining about the exact same things, I'm just gonna wait for a little longer.
Well, clearly it uses more than 4 gigabytes of RAM, so, or more than 3.5 gigabytes of RAM, so it's out of your league
VRAM,
anyways.
technically.
But this mess clearly uses less than 3.5. It is Transmissions Element 120, and it takes place some unspecified time in the future of the Half-Life universe as you are dropped into this world and are forced to figure out what the hell is going on as everything is trying to kill you. Oh my god!
So it's like
So this-
Australia.
Exactly like Australia. In fact, it might actually take place in Australia.
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
see, giant spiders? Yeah,
Mhm.
Australia. So,
Clark Spider.
but yeah, no, the game is actually already finished. They want to get it on Greenlight so that if you can't figure out how to install a source mod, it'll do it for you. I tried manually installing it. Apparently, it doesn't work on Linux. It does require the Source 2007 SDK, or maybe I'm just stupid. Who knows? Maybe I should vote for it on Greenlight.
I don't know. Yeah, I thought about it as soon as I saw the Source 2.7, and I was like, "Oh fuck, nope." I'm not going through that business again because there was some Portal mod we had to install that for.
Oh no, it was Half-Life 2 Synergy.
Oh,
That's
right.
the one. Yeah.
Matt, Half-Life fan? Yeah, no.
Half-Life is it's an acquired taste. I think if you apply enough alcohol and drugs to your experience, I think it's a great game. But I think you definitely have to get yourself to that level first. So.
All right.
That's a controversial opinion.
No,
To Sandy Martin at
in all seriousness, though, I think
Gamer.com.
it's certainly a worthwhile game. But it's definitely
wait to backpedal on that, Matt. Come on. Someone hook a generator up to him. Pedro, tell him
Get off your feet and hover around.
Bolt on gamers.
Hover. Revolt of Gamers. Yeah, if that's not a pandering game title, I don't know what is. But yeah, according to its Steam page, it is on early access, and they say it's a single-player and multiplayer arcade free-run / parkour game that takes place in a futuristic alien city. The city is under pressure because of the great manager who decided to ban video games and condemn with an A. All people
Damn,
having
girl.
fun. Condemn all
You
people
got
having fun.
pants.
But as you may have guessed it is running on the Unity engine. And the city is a pretty big, pretty wide open area. And as we've seen last week, wide open areas with the Unity engine, they don't work so good, Brad.
Maybe not so much, but I think a more interesting point in this is they did a Kickstarter for this, right? And I'm like, we got the Linux support, Brad, check it out. And like a little Linux beta thing going on. Then they want to drop this early access business on us. And
Complete aside. Did you hear that Descent actually hit their Kickstarter goal?
yes, I know. By like $6,000 though.
Barely.
So
Yeah.
raise a margin. To what I was saying though, as soon as I got the approval to be on the early access, that Linux support kind of went like, oh, well, we'll get around to it, like maybe next couple weeks, but go ahead and buy it. Pro tip: don't fucking buy it. I don't care what it looks like. I mean, originally it was listed with the penguin icon, and I was like, you need to nope that business, Brad, which they did. Unity full controller support unless they're using Xinput SDL2. I'm not going to see that business happening. But I even see
maybe it's Unity
Chatroom.
5.
I can see, well, if it's Unity 5, maybe. But Chatroom was talking about, Jet Set Radio. Did you ever play that back on the Saturn days?
I played that.
No?
I was gonna say it reminds me a bit of Jet Set Radio. When I first looked at it, the color scheme kind of reminded me of Kinetica for the PS2, which piqued my interest. But people reading the comments, what people are saying about the game, performance is garbage. So if anything, wait for it to be a real boy before you purchase it. As is the rule of
Wait
most
until it comes
access
out on
games.
Linux.
Well, okay. So what I don't understand is it's like, okay, so we're gonna potentially say, we might buy this down the road, even though they basically gave us just the tip with the penguin, if you will, and they said, no, we're just kidding, we're gonna pull that back. I'm not gonna give them my money. I mean, if you're gonna support Linux, do it. That's great, but don't fuck around with me.
Hence real boy. Yeah. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. True.
coming up next, I don't know, some stuff with Adam Carolla and racism.
Why not? We'll work it in.
Absolutely.
everyone! Welcome to the LGC Weekly Patreon update. And this week, while we don't have any new patrons, we do have to announce that, as you've probably already seen, we have reached the Make Matt Bad Patreon goal. Because Mr. Matt Hartley, you may know him from, Jupiter Broadcasting, and he does a podcast type thing with his wife now. You should check it out. Follow him on Google+. He's got a lot of awesome stuff, especially when it comes to Linux. But he's here. We
Work the shaft, Pedro.
stand true.
Data
we
mission.
stand true.
Yeah, data
when
mission.
people
I
are
have been
kicking
known to
us
speak some
money.
stuff out there occasionally.
Yeah, I mean, especially with that, we're still edging up here. 68, if we get to that magical
right.
75, we're going to start trying all over again, which is going
Watch
to be
us murder each other over the
absolute
internet.
nightmare fuel. Not looking forward to that, but anything you can give. I mean, I know it says one wet stinking right there. 5 cents a show, man. That's, 20 cents a month? Yeah, all right. Come on. Value for value.
20 cents a
all that
month,
fun
yeah.
stuff.
My-
Yeah.
my-
If
mind
everyone
you,
who
the credit
listens to
card
the
charge is
podcast
probably going to be
donated
more than
that much,
all
it
things
would be
considered.
awesome.
So,
Yeah, it's couch money. Yeah.
All right.
yeah,
with that out of the way,
so
let's
not
get into
gaming
the news.
related. Definitely us related, though. You might remember a couple. Oh, this has actually been going on for years.
Mhm.
This company whose name escapes me at the moment, Personal Audio. There you go. Personal Audio has tried to claim a patent over podcasting. Period, and they want all the podcasters to give them money because they're a bunch of fucking patent trolls. Well, Adam Carolla chased them off with his money stick, and then the EFF swooped in for the kill. They got a confirmation from the patent office that that suit is completely thrown out. There's prior podcasting is considered a prior art because in part of Canada, partially because CBC radio broadcasts online in the early days of the internet. And what was the other one they said? Carl Malamud's Geek of the Week online radio show were in existence before these guys filed their patents. So, patent busted. Podcasting goes on forever.
I know.
Yeah.
If you've been following this business for any amount of time, these guys first started off going after smaller podcasters. I think they went after Twit at some point, and they went against Corolla Digital. And he did a fund, and they got together. Corolla actually settled, but their settlement was to not sue each other. And at that point, these ass banjos decided, okay, individual podcasters don't have enough money for us. Oh, one thing I want to point out, Apple settled with them. Go Apple. So they started, now they went after TV networks, ABC, NBC, and all that. And speculations also, what might happen is all the networks said, we don't want to get into this lawyering business, so EFF, here's some money. Take care of that. And they did. I mean, it's brilliant. It's gone. F them. Screw non-practicing entities in the ear. Do you get any thoughts on this, man?
I got to tell you, the whole podcasting, patenty thing has been going on for a while. And I know people personally that have been truly concerned about it. Honestly, I think it's all bullshit. I think at the end of the day, it's just a lot of saber rattling. The way I look at it, maybe I'm just being selfish. They're not coming after me. If some, idiot out there like Apple wants to go and settle with them, stupid as it may be, hey, better them than me, I guess. But at the end of the day, no, I think the whole thing's crap, and it's just patent trolling nonsense that it's a bigger issue that isn't being dealt with. So.
And it is well, yeah, I guess Pedro has to say his bit, but I will say that you should donate to the EFS because
Oh
they do
yeah,
actually
absolutely.
fight. They do actually fight for your interests, and it is a great nonprofit. They are seriously deserving of money.
Yeah, they do. And if you are not comfortable with giving your money away to certain institutions on the internet, the EFF is actually the one sticking their necks out for just about everyone's rights, be it podcasts, even YouTubers, all of those. These are the good guys. These are the guys that deserve money.
All right, well, let's
Say
give
the
some
least.
reasons what for. Killing Floor 2, release date revealed. Look at this from Tripwire. This comes
At
from
60 frames a second.
I know! This comes from PC Gamer. You can always find this Nightmare Fuel in our show notes after the show, but they have said we'll hit Steam Early Access. This just makes me chilled on April 21st. I remember the original Killing Floor. That's one of the first things me and P-Man ever played together, giggity.
Yep.
And this...
was the very first game we played.
Sometimes I just like to wind up people on G Plus because it connects to the YouTubes. And I looked at it, and I thought to myself, I said, Vin, what do you think this is? And I said, well, it kind of looks like an HD remake, if you ask me. Oh, and that lit a fuse. So I had to sit back and watch.
I don't know. They announced the price on this, too. $30 is bordering on steep for, another Horde shooter. I mean, Shadow Warrior is in that price range, but that was on a Humble Bundle, so grab that for $10.
True.
And, I mean, yeah, I get that they were one of the first games out on Steam for Linux, but brand loyalty really only gets you so far. I don't know. If I buy the game at full price, I'm probably not going to play it for a significant amount of time. And when I finally do get around to playing it, it will be on sale, and I would have felt like I wasted my damn money.
Mm-hmm. Matt?
Well, so here's the deal. I mean, I want to give these guys money. I really do. And the game, it could be pretty cool. But as you guys have pointed out, it's pretty much been done already. And asking 30 bones for that, you want me to actually bust out my coin purse and actually pull this money out and drop 30 on that? I don't know. I feel like I definitely would want to get it for less than that. I might get it on a sale, but I can't say I'm going to be jumping up and down out of the gate.
I'm kind of tempted to go ahead and pull the trigger on it, just because, if you remember back when Steam first launched, even in closed beta, Tripwire were one of the first to get their game up there with Killing Floor. P-Man, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's the early access version. I was watching Total Biscuit play the Killing Floor 2 demo thing with the devs, and they were saying that, yeah, the early access version will just basically be an HD remake of the first game. There's new levels, there's new bosses, there's 2 or 3 new enemies and a couple of new weapons, but most of the new content will be released as the final version approaches. Of course, the first game was made in the Unreal Engine 2, and that came out in January 2001. So it's a pretty old engine, but the new one is based on the Unreal Engine 3 with some mods, and they say that it is literally what they tried to do with the first Killing Floor, except they were limited by the technology of the time. Now they can do it. And yeah, in early access, it's probably not going to be worth $30. So you may want to wait to see it on sale or wait till it's out.
Wait till it's out, but you might not be able to get your head around that, but we guarantee you won't be able to get your brain organ around this.
Ooh, Kotaku! Yeah. So apparently they got in touch with some developers at the CryEngine, or Crytek as you may want to call them, who chose to remain anonymous because apparently the deal that saved Crytek from bankruptcy was struck with Amazon. Yes, Amazon now owns CryEngine. And, personally, and this is speculation on my part, Amazon is trying to beat Google by piggybacking on them, and at the same time, Google's far more worried trying to become Apple. So they don't really care about their users at this point. And if Amazon does turn out to be, because they've released the Android console thing, and they've bought a couple of gaming assets, so to speak, like Twitch TV, which we're streaming live right now, and some other things.
Thanks, Jeff.
If Amazon does come out as a big console OEM/publisher type thing, I'm going to say that they're going evil the first chance they get.
They're going evil. Just to clarify some of the things you said, they don't necessarily own it, but you got to remember that Crytek was in Bankruptsville.
They bailed them out.
Right. They were unable to pay their employee
They don't
organs.
technically own it,
And
but
I'm going to finish a fucking
it.
sentence. How about that? It's brilliant. Okay, so that happened, and I've sit for this entire week after reading that going, where's the popcorn in this? Because we learned last week with, what is it, the game Spaceship?
Star Citizen.
Star Citizen.
Oh,
They
Star
were
Citizen,
working
yeah.
with CryEngine, which said, we have Linux support, it's brilliant, and they said,
OpenGL
render's
implementation's
completely
garbage.
busted. Nope, we tried it, we love Linux, and this thing's just a honking pile of nope. So I think maybe Amazon thought, well, we'll do that, and it'll be cross-platform. Then Unreal Engine 4 came out and just dropped damn mic sauce all over their face. What do you think, Matt?
Well, so first and foremost, I think we need to realize the Amazon drone ads will be coming to a game near you. I mean, that's something you've got to really wrap your head around. On top of that,
The first models were made of rubber. They were easy
Right.
to detect.
yeah, exactly. They bounce. It's not a big deal. But when you look at what they're doing, do we really want Amazon involved in games like this? I mean, it seems like no big deal at first, but I think when you dive deeper into it and really noodle big picture shit, I think it's scary. I think the whole concept of how involved in our lives they already are, and now they're going to be involved in our games. Can you imagine that? Like ads popping up in games, like, asking, or it's like, hey, that order of dildos you were wanting, that's ready for you, or whatever the thing may be that you may not want other people knowing. Where do they draw the line?
I don't know, because Amazon already has a fairly oddly diverse portfolio with Twitch,
Yes.
EC2, their store.
Mhm.
Hell, Amazon Prime Video, they're making TV series and movies now.
Well, I mean, when you look at
So-
Twitch, Amazon...
So my personal hope for a man in the high castle dating sim may become a reality.
One thing
But,
Amazon
I
is
mean-
very good at is they leave their properties the fuck alone.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fair.
And I mean, based on what they're doing already, being a game publisher, being a game manufacturer, not so far out of left field if you consider everything they're doing currently.
Yeah, it isn't.
And
but they
if
did
you know what,
butt in.
actually, interesting thought. If Amazon wanted to release an MMO, they'd have one hell of a platform to do it on.
Yeah, granted, but they have already sort of butted in with Twitch with a couple of specific things and the updates to the terms of service and the whole no nudity thing.
Better than what YouTube did this week.
Yeah, the YouTube thing, that's still brewing.
Well, let's
It
talk
will
about the
blow up
request
slowly.
data.
Oh yeah, fire up the hat machine. Cheep, cheep. No, so Feral on their Facebooks page, they said, "Hey guys, you want to get excited about Deus Ex, the new one, fucking coming to Linux? I never asked for this." Well, they want to hear your feedback on that. They're not actually saying anything. They just want to build up hype. They probably have the rights to port the new Deus Ex game when it comes out.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's even
Well,
going to be up
I
to
mean,
them.
they did this shit with Shadow of Mordor.
They did,
Uh-huh.
but they're very clear to point out right here is like, the request is a request taking machine, not an announcement making one. No, we have no plans been announced for the Deus Ex. But thank you.
So they're very likely in the bidding process. They're trying to put out their feelers.
Yeah,
That would be nice.
it wouldn't be beyond the stretch of an imagination organ because they are boarding some of their Batman, Dende, and
Shadow of
Lord
Mordor.
of the Rings,
Shadow of
right?
Mordor.
So I don't know. Smoke, you were saying?
Well, from my perspective, personally, the way I look at this is it feels like smoke's being blown up my butt. I mean, you shit or get off the pot. At the end of the day, they're putting this stuff out there saying, oh yeah, we're just kind of checking out we're putting our feelers out, checking things out. But really what they're doing is this is a PR move, total PR move. That's all it is. And basically, it's like, you're a Coke dealer, and you're like, this is for educational purposes only to teach kids not to do Coke. Here, have some cocaine so you can see what the effects are. It feels like one of those type.
Clearly, you haven't been watching our show lately.
Clearly.
you see that little Voltron down there? He's made of cocaine. P-Man.
Yes. Look, Feral, their PR guy is called Brad.
Yes, he is.
And he's being cast
at
for the
this
Rocky Horror
point-
remake along with them. So
At this point, I just want to get my mitts on Shadow of Mordor. That's all I'm waiting for. Deus Ex Mankind Divided? Sure, if that comes, that'd be awesome. But I want Shadow of Mordor. Pretty freaking please.
I know.
Pedro, it's pronounced Mordor.
Mordor.
Oh, you guys
Well,
probably
Matt,
are.
I heard you wanted to get your hand on some ass sets.
Oh, definitely. I mean,
Wait,
Unreal,
isn't that the next story? Oh wait.
yes, it is. Unreal assets. Unreal's making with the pretties. They got some great stuff going on, and basically they want to share the love with their virtual worlds, and I think that's cool. Unfortunately, that stuff's already out there, and it's kind of being passed around a lot. So I'm not really sure what this is doing for me, other than making me cry because I want to buy a rig that can actually support what they're doing. So Unreal assets, I'll tell you.
It needs more 980s.
So what this basically means, now that anyone can get, UE4 went open source, there's limited support for actually the editor. I managed to get it to build, but if you look at it wrong, it'll crash. So, but it's coming along, but all the assets packs, what I was showing from the what was it? Kite Open World Tech Demo. All this is going to be in there. And I just can imagine, didn't some lovely gentlemen make a video game using some stock assets this week?
Oh, yes. Yes, they did. Unfortunately, it's not available for Linux. Otherwise, we'd be
Aw.
talking in detail about it. But yeah, it's called Accidental Runner. Look it up on Steam. It's got the Running Man from the Running Man tech demo. And he's just
I thought
running
you were
in
gonna say
place
Arnold
because he's not
Schwarzenegger movie,
moving. He's not moving
No,
because
he's on the track.
I'm guessing the
Right.
developer didn't know how to do that. And it's just stuck full of, well, stock Unity assets. Because
You mean
got the
Unreal assets?
Level, yes, Unreal Engine 4. Sorry, Unity.
Ah,
It's
Unity
all up
Engine,
in my
Unreal
brain.
Engine, same shit.
Domination. Yeah.
But yeah, it's stock full of Unreal 4 engine assets, and there's really no originality to it. It's one of those really supposed to be hard, but it's not actually hard. It's just stupid games. Give it a look. There'll be a link in the show notes if you want to check it out. Unfortunately, like I said, it's not available for Linux, and they are selling it for like $2. Do not give those people
Chip,
money.
you got
Just
some
watch
thoughts?
the videos.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice that they're putting this out, and I know Unreal Engine 4 is all, we're super photorealistic, but a lot of the tech demos they provided are for non-photorealistic games. This is really only useful for that small subset. Plus, if Unreal really wants to unseat Unity, there are a ton of shitty little mini games that are written in the engine. It would be nice if they put out some more official packs of just random stuff that they put in the demos and whatnot. Just to give some game makers something to work with, at least for prototyping the game. But still, game developers, listen to me. Look at my eyes. Listen to me. Hire artists.
More like hire hardest. That's right.
Oh,
Stick
yeah.
Shift. Stick Shift is an autoerotic night driving game about pleasuring your gay car. Giggity. Actually, this comes in price. Pay what you want. Z if you feel like it. System requirements. Basically, you can run this on a calculator. And, it basically says what it does on the tin. Let's take a look at this little video right here.
Jerk off your car. That's the game.
Yeah, there's
Get a game for
GIF
this now.
right behind it.
Wow, I'm really trying.
I downloaded it. Oh, wow. Here's
The
a
lights
go.
went out of the-
All right. Brilliant. And it has two endings.
He's going through the quickening.
Yeah, basically.
What are the two endings? Your car finishes or it doesn't?
No, I got the one ending, and it wasn't the one where the car, basically ejaculated out of its muffler. But, true story. But the only thing this game actually taught me is I would be absolute rubbish at giving handjobs.
You are rubbish at giving handjobs, Ven, and I keep telling you that.
Shh. P-Man,
Now,
did you
here's
play
the
with it?
thing. The guys that made this game have also made Succulent and Hurt Me Plenty.
Mhm.
The Succulent is a video game music video type thing, which
Is that
you
the one
have
with the lollipop type thing? Oh, right.
as they call it. It's a hunk sucking on a blank for your amusement. So yeah, you have this guy just a lollipop or an ice cream going like this, and they brag about their cheek physics. So there's that, and then there's Hurt Me Plenty.
Pedro's played this game for hours. That's why he's so good.
And then there's Hurt Me Plenty, which if you follow Laura K. Butts on Twitter, you know exactly what Hurt Me Plenty is. It's a game about, well, just paddling a man because he's into that. He wants to feel the pain. But if you don't respect his safe word, the game will literally lock you out of playing it for like 20 days or something. So these guys, they know their target audience.
So it basically mirrors Pedro's relationship with Nori. Got it.
All right. So, moving on. Alpha
Unvanquished.
38.
Yes.
This thing. We love
Hey,
it. We
this
Yes.
know
is
it.
a thing.
Yes. So I used to make the joke. It's unplayable. No, I built it from source. It's fully playable now.
Mhm.
Actually, in fact, it's everyone's favorite community maintained FPS strategy game that actually fucking works under Linux.
Yep.
No, but they have some updates, including my favorite from their changelog, fixed last commit. You scroll down. So whatever git trawler bot they have is just, I don't fucking know anymore. No, but they have a bunch of fixes. There's not a lot of new features. They've overhauled their beacon system. They've turned it into a bacon system now that gets rid of sprites and is all procedurally generated and whatnot. With
Oh, check that out. They fixed the mass driver crash. Not once, but
good.
twice.
You really gotta love these. Yeah, whatever Git trawler they're using to get these change logs, gotta love it. High quality thing. They have a couple Arch Linux specific fixes as well, apparently, because apparently Arch users need some special attention. And yeah, I spun this up for a bit. It works. There's not really much in the way of gameplay changes aside from, like I said, the E-radar system. So there's that. Oh yeah, no, they have auto soft. Everything is using soft body physics now.
Nice.
Where all the 2D stuff is, mind you.
Well, you remember that website that we thought was quite deceased?
Oh my God, Sandy's back. Actually, Sandy didn't write this article. I think this was Durr.
No, this was Kurd.
Klump.
Herr
Klump.
I don't.
Herr Klump. The Klumpenstein. The Klompinator.
Yeah.
The Klompy Wompy.
Matt, tell us about it.
Okay, so it's I guess you could say it's alive. It's a decent grudge match if you want to kind of throw down with your loved ones or friends or whatnot. I personally enjoyed the animated guts in your face organs. I thought that was pretty nice. If you're looking for a little smack down and spank them and whatnot, it's a good time. Otherwise, I wouldn't expect to be totally immersed in it, but I'd play it, sure.
This is Towerfall. Like,
yeah,
this
looks.
No, I'm not even kidding. This is Towerfall essentially, except not ported by Flibbit, and there's like a melee aspect. But yeah, this is fucking Towerfall. I have no idea how they even got away with this. I think Flibbit can't sue anyone. He didn't actually make that game. He just ported it.
Yeah, he doesn't know the IP.
Oh hey, Sharpie. That's holy shit. That's actually a friend of mine from high school. What the fuck?
Oh.
I am not even kidding. Apparently, he's up the top comment.
Oh.
Hi.
Put a bow
I
on
know
this
you watch
business.
this fucking show too, so fuck you.
Coming up next.
Coming up next, we put our wangs to the test and throw some chairs at Shadow Warrior, and not our wangs. That would be painful. Get your wangs ready for the CHAIRQUISITION! This week we're reviewing the Wang-tastic Shadow Warriors by Flying Wild Hog on the Roadhog engine, a customized engine which one guy ported to Linux. And it fucking shows. What is it? Never heard of it. Shadow Warrior is a bold reimagining of the classic 3D realm shooter from independent developer Flying Wild Hog, starring the legendary and quick-witted warrior Lo Wang. Combine brute force of overwhelming firepower with the elegant precision of a katana to annihilate merciless enemies of the Shadow Realm. Oh god, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh game. My fucking god. Whatever. Cue the CHAIRQUISITION. We got... 1 chair means that it's garbage, 2 chairs means that it's math, 3 chairs means that it's pretty good, 4 chairs means that it's amazing! And we also have our categories of Doom, mixed with the working, shiny sounds, controls, and fun. And we have our special guest reviewer today, Mr. Matt Hartley. Wave at the lovely people. Show him your not professional robe that's actually just a hoodie, but is not really.
It's hoodie robe-like.
So let's kick this off, mixed with the working, then...
All right, considering this was ported by Knockout Games, which, as J-Baby just said, is one guy, this is hella amazing, period. The only issue I had on day one was that my gerbil, my fancy EP and extended gerbil, had some issues while moving up. And guess what? That was fixed within 24 hours. That is just, wow. Then, another 24 hours after that, all the graphical options that were missing were also added. Bonus soda is all I can say with that business. And this was tested on the Ubuntu 1404 LTS 980 powered 4K displayed octo-core box of business. I'm going to give it 4 chairs.
Yeah, and I was actually pretty impressed with the turnaround time with these patches. These guys are really on the ball with the Linux port. And on the 980 powered AMD 1090T 4K box of business, it gets 4 chairs for being 4. I can't think of a good pun for that. Pedro!
Good times. Well, on the Amiga, with the FX 8370E overclocked at 4 gigahertz and the GTX 970 Strix, it on Corora 2164-bit. I been forgetting about that one the past couple of weeks. But yeah, it ran stupidly well, even in game at 1080p with everything that they have, all the options that they currently have in the game, cranked up to 11. Yeah, I was getting like 100 and something frames per second, so I didn't get a chair. That's 4 whole chairs.
Personally, I found that it installed just stupid easy. I was really happy with it. I just ran the script and boom, success. After logging off the game and returning, however, it did black screen on me one time. Kind of frustrating, but, you know, rebooted. Everything was golden. Overall, it ran really well. I'm running on a lower end card that I have no idea what it is because I've lost those details in the notes, but I can tell you that it's basically...
You said it was a 750.
Thank you. Yeah, it was an NVIDIA 750. And, you know, surprisingly, it just ran great. I mean, like, the settings weren't like all the way up or anything, but it just self-adjusted, ran well. I was really happy with it. Personally, I would give the whole installation make with the working process, I'm going to give it 4 chairs.
And what distribution were you running?
I was running on Ubuntu Mate.
All right, so 4 chairs across the board.
Yeah, 4 chairs for makes with the working. Good stuff. Shiny sounds, Ven.
Shiny and sounds, you know, at 4K, running between 45 and 70 FERPs, you're not exactly begging for those additional graphic options. I wasn't. Let's just be honest with that. My eye organs were bleeding with delight. The random discussion between Hoji and Wang just completely sells the business. Like, when I first started with this, now I'll get more into this in the fun. It's like, it's kind of boring. Then you get your demon sidekick, and it just goes into straight-up Wang jokes and shtick.
Beware of Wang.
Beware of Wang, baby. I just loved it. I mean, the shinies, it looked amazing. It still looks amazing. At 4K, you don't really worry about that anti-aliasing so much. Let's just be honest with ourselves. And the performance was just amazing, considering, again, this was ported by one person organ. Blown away. Loved it. To be perfectly honest, the first parts of the games it's more bamboo forest. And when you're in the burning city with the Godzillas and all that, that's awesome. That's just really what sold it to me. Later on, you're kind of in the tubes and you're on the snowy mountains and all that. Still looks good, man. It kind of pales in comparison to that first bit. But all around, we're going to give that 4 chairs.
Damn. You know, I agree with Ven. Hoji and Wang, the two actors have a really good have really good dynamics, so the dialogue between them is always fresh and funny and well timed, and just the voice acting in general is really good. But this is a game that opens up with Stan Bush's "You Got the Touch, You Got the Power," and I mentioned this last week. I fucking spent a good 3 minutes rocking the fuck out to the intro because I am a child. So the game looks really good at 4K, runs very well, but I don't want to give it 4 chairs just because at 4K you start seeing some of the faults, like the guy tries to light a cigarette and he goes like, imagine this pencil is a cigarette and this thing is a lighter, and he goes up to here and the cigarette gets lit because, oh god, that pencil eraser was in my ear. I'm gonna wrap this up. 3 chairs for shiny sounds. Oh god.
Yeah, so like Ven sort of kind of already hinted at, there are some graphics options missing on the Linux board, namely radial blur, sun shafts, glow, whatever that is, sharpen, depth of field, and lens flares, and of course SSAO. I for one do not miss radial blur or depth of field. Everything else, yeah, that would be nice to have, but unfortunately, you can't. Unless, of course, you open up the in-game console and you type out the commands to enable that. But if I'm typing out commands to enable shit that was disabled because the lone guy that was porting the game did not feel confident enough in his porting skills to actually keep that stuff in the game, I have to then get a chair. But it is just the one chair because everything else, like Ven and Jordan already said, the voice acting was spot on. The graphics, I couldn't find anything wrong with them. It's just that knowing that they could look a hell of a lot better, kind of, it's a chair that I have to dig it. So for me, it gets 3 chairs.
Well, for myself, the big thing that I found is that the game was actually pretty enough that I actually considered peeing into a bottle versus having to hit the escape key and get up and take a leak every once in a while. It was that good. I also felt the attention to detail when I'm smashing windows or breaking people, or even I'm just like basically busting caps and corpses or just hacking them into pieces. There was so much nicety to each individual slash, hack, and shoot that I got to give it 4 chairs on that. I really do.
All right, so we total that up. That's 3 chairs of Shinian sounds. Up next is Control. Then.
All right, Brother Sveng, I genuinely thought I was going to have an issue with, once you start learning your special abilities, with your Kobayashi Maru. And that's the AASSDD with left click to right click and all that business. I wasn't. It turned out it worked fantastically well. So, happy with that. And here's the thing, after you buff the skills and get the second Kobayashi Maru, all you need to do is find a nice little choke point in the level organ, press SS, let go, things die. Brilliant. Controls are tight. Everything worked for me because I don't need anything special, mind you. You know, I need my WASD, I need my gerbil working, I need the spacebar to jump, I need to hit U so I can go into that random menu and add all my extra skills. And a motorcycle is best motorcycle. So, there's nothing to complain about. Now, granted, I could not get it to work with my Formula One racing wheel, but I'm just going to let that slide this week and give it another amazing 4 chairs.
Yeah, no, the controls are fairly spot on. Again, it is standard FPS fare, so if you've played a first-person shooter on PC ever, you basically know what you're doing. I do like how the key powers are handled. I think that is really worth mentioning. A lot of games would have you like enter a menu or whatnot, but like just AA, WW, SS, whatever, and then a mouse button is really it's very powerful, but it's very out of the way too. So it really works well in terms of control schematic. I gotta give that 4 chairs. I mean, it was handled ingeniously. So.
Okay, I'll be the dissenting voice in this one because I don't use WASD to move my character around. I use the directional arrows, and the number of keys around the directional arrows that I can reach with my right hand is sort of limited. So, what did I do? I got me a nice Rocat Kova Plus, which has like 7 buttons to it, and I got the left side buttons here defined as R and Q. And on the right side, I have them as E and F. Now, the game, in the options menu, if you try to bind these keys, it recognizes them properly. You push this one, that's D. You push this one, all right, that's DR. Okay, that's use and reload right then and there. No issues, right? Wrong. As soon as you get in-game, the E and the R keys simply don't get recognized. If you push the ones at the bottom, F, yeah, the flashlight turns on. You push Q, yep, you throw in a shuriken. So what the hell? Something is really screwed up with the engine here, and no matter, it's not just that, it's also the fact that there's some sort of acceleration or deceleration, as I'm suspecting is the case, going on with the mouse, because even though there is an option for mouse smoothing and it came disabled by default, enabling it didn't fix the issue I'm having, because no matter how high or low I put the sensitivity slider, it doesn't feel right. For me, it always feels weird, and I end up missing, and I end up dying, and at that point, I can't excuse it. So 2 chairs for controls for me.
Boy, you know, I got to tell you. When it came to controls, I went back and forth a little bit on this, but I actually found that overall, the controls are actually pretty decent with the mouse and the keys. My big gripe was that I was feeling like I wasn't able to move in areas and up areas that I should using the mouse at a couple spots, and that's beside the point. Overall, though, anytime you have an opportunity to get double Ds on a computer, you know, it's usually a win-win. And, you know, hitting the DD button to get stuff, I was fine with that. You know, the advanced controls took some getting used to, but overall, I'm fairly pleased. I would give it 3 chairs. Not perfect, but not bad.
All right, so that's 3 chairs for control. And finally, our last and subjective category, food. Ben, did you have fun with your wang?
All I have to say is I'm 11 ons into this game. The fuck all do you think, son? Yes, I would give it 4, but there's a bit of a lull around the 7-hour mark. No, the fuck all am I kidding? This is a stupid, ridiculously fun game. I had no business doing this. When it starts in Genesis, and I opened up the options menus with your Kai and your weapons and all that, I audibly groaned. It was magnificent. It's like, I don't want to go through this, upgrading the skills. Somehow, 3 hours after that, while I felt myself still playing and upgrading and doing all that, it's like, oh, this is awesome. But eventually you do realize that once you get your swords, fuck the weapons. I mean, when you first start out, the weapons are wholly underpowered. You get your revolver, you're like, boom, boom, oh, fuck this noise. Sword, you go Gensu on everyone. It's just stupidly fun. I mean, it's very cathartic in a way, without having to hide the bodies in real life. And it's a long game, 11 ons in, and I'm nowhere near done. I still have a few more chapters to knock out. I like the character development, if you want to call it that. I like the story. I like the way it's put together. I like your little demon buddy, which I'm not going to spoil anything. Things happen, and you learn things. You're like, oh, okay. And seriously, if you've ever wanted to portray, Japanese assassin comic book nerd who is sharing a body with a demon, I mean, this game is made for you. So I'm going to give this 4 chairs. I'm still currently enjoying it. And if you're listening to the live stream, you might still be able to pick it up for 10 quid. But normally it's 39.99, and I would still say buy the damn thing, J-Man.
Yeah, I was playing it today. I got to the point where you get to your armory, and the demon dude is like, "Oh God, if this is where you keep your comic books, where do you keep your porn?" And Wang's like, "This is my porn." I just about lost my shit at that one. No, but this is a really solid shooter. The game throws a lot of enemies at you, but with the healing mechanic, it actually makes it really manageable because you can heal yourself 65% health initially, and then you can bump that up to 80. It's not like crazy overpowered, but it's also useful and it keeps you alive. You do need to find like a clear spot to do it. I also got the power that when you're at like 1 hit point, it gives you like 30 seconds to one-shot kill a guy and get back to 50%. So I actually never found that I needed to resort to hunting down for med packs, though they do give you quite a bunch of it. Honestly, this game has basically everything I want in a game. Cutting people into tiny pieces of swords, runs great under Linux, and so many dick jokes. Just all the time dick jokes. Constantly. I love it. I'm going to give it 3 chairs.
Well, this is unfortunately one of the very few genuinely good games that I can't seem to enjoy. Maybe it's the controls, maybe it's the fact that I know that it's inherently broken under Linux. It works, but it's missing stuff. And I played the first 4 levels, and I was bored. I'll admit it did get a few chuckles out of me. The dick jokes were very much there, and they resonate with me. I like a nice dick joke. But it came to the point where I'd rather just watch the bunnies. I thought you were going to end that sentence very differently. It got to the point where I'd rather just watch the bunnies fuck than actually finish the level. And while I would give this game a 7 in the Wang meter, I can't give it any more than 2 chairs for the fun.
Well, I would definitely differ on this. First of all, I'm going to be up all night playing this title. I'm completely and totally hooked. It's great. I haven't had this much fun in a long time because it's just, you can go into it really planning the thing out. You can go into it mindless. It doesn't matter. Personally, it gave me a stiffy on the Wangometer. It really did. The sword, great control there. Overall, I'm real happy with that. The gun is actually surprisingly accurate. I really expected it to be just sighted in a horrible way. Hell yes. I mean, this is a must-have title. At $10, you're sick not to get this, and at full price, it's still worth it. I would really recommend checking it out. 4 chairs for me.
All right, so that's 3 chairs for fun. Tally that all up, and Shadow Warrior gets 3 on the chair wangometer. Final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen.
Couple of things. I mean, I mentioned this, might have mentioned this last week, or I might have saved it. I forget, I'm getting old. But really, like, sold me on this. I immediately, I think I did mention this, is I started, you see the bunnies going at it, having the sexy time. And naturally, your first instinct is to slice them up.
Obviously.
Yeah, clearly. And I was in one of the bamboo forest levels, and I was like, got bunny slice. One died, the other one turned black. It was incredibly racist. Shit got metal, and the damn thing near killed me. And it started attacking.
It's got big, nasty teeth.
Had like 30 health when I managed to kill it. And I was like, wow. All right. One other thing. Don't play this on normal. I started this game on normal, and I can imagine how easy it is on casual, but on normal, there's nothing to it. You just walk in and hold down slash and kill things. At least put it up to, hard. Maybe not Nightmare, but get a bit more of a challenge. J-Man?
Yeah, no, it's a very solid shooter. I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep playing it. It does have an occasional issue where it will nope your system, but that seems to be sort of random. Didn't feel it was enough to ding it a chair on mix with the working, because it works so well, all things considered. Yeah, no, this is a fun game. I'm not sure if it's worth it to get it for full price. Certainly get it on sale. Certainly get it for $10 from the Humble Bundle. Like Matt said, you'd be insane not to. And that's all I got to say about it.
Yeah, no.
Heretic!
I realize
Sean the
that
non-believer!
It is my problem. It is my problem. I know. I can recognize that it is a very good game. I just don't like it. But hey, if you like first-person shooters, if you don't mind a couple of dick jokes here and there, and hey, if you like a competent game on Linux for once, get this one. It's definitely worth the $10 on Humble Bundle right now.
Mafu?
For me, I would say you want to come for the wang, and then you want to stay when it comes to the slashing and shooting. It just got a great flow to it. You don't even have to be like a hardcore gamer to appreciate the value of this game. It's fantastic.
You gotta come for the wang. Coming up next, we talk about ass kissers and Germans in our hate mail segment.
Ladies and gentlemen, my favorite segment of LGC Weekly is the hate mail. And if you're not watching us live, which you should, you just missed the musical musings of both Mr. Venstone and Mr. Jordan Svang. Matt was a little quiet. But yeah, as usual, start of the hate mail. If you'd like to get in touch with us, go to linuxgamecast.com, push the contact button, fill out the form, fill out the CAPTCHA thing, and we'll be happy to feature your message, unless, of course, you're trying to promote your crowdfunding campaign or your Steam Early Access, or even a game that you're trying to raise awareness of. Send us 3 keys on Steam, on GOG, on Desura, if that's still a thing.
Got a little extra thing right here, because we're having some issues. Want us to take a look at your game, question mark? Please count the number of hosts in the image below and provide that many copies.
-7.
I drew you a picture, motherfucker. But yeah, send us some keys. 3, 4. Usually 4 is a safe bet, just in case we have someone else like we did this week. But if you don't send us keys, not only will we not mention your game or your Kickstarter or whatever, we will make fun of you live.
As is tradition.
Yes, this week, apparently someone's been kissing asses.
In German, no less.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I saw a rather cringe-worthy review of Sons of Noah on YouTube showing this page here in Petroleum multiplies as lasering. This was last week, mind you, when we said this. No. I have to make it clear that I'm not, quote-unquote, pissed off because of the poor frame rate in some places. The game is very playable on my rig. Controls are super smooth and responsive. And I didn't even have grammar problems with jumping once I had understood the animations, because apparently you have to understand the animations in this game.
I still don't understand those fucking
I
animations,
didn't like that and didn't react to the drop of the Jew. I wrote in German because those German signals I have quote unquote pissed off. All right. Brad, listen to this. I'll give you cringeworthy because that's what our reviews are.
Actually, what's the German equivalent of Brad?
Brad.
Brad. Okay.
Sorry, we don't really have one for a name. But I'm just not following you when you say poor FERPs in some places. Do you want to reply to that?
How about all the places? Like, because again, we were testing the multiplayer. I was getting a solid 8 frames a second on my GTX 980. You know, that top of the line NVIDIA card that's supposed to be able to run fucking anything.
Yeah, he posted this on the Steam forums for Son of Nor, and if you look at his posts, he keeps telling people to get to the 3rd level, which, if you do get to the 3rd level, I did. I got way past the 3rd level on that game. The 3rd level is an interior. You're literally inside a cave. Everything is fucking dark outside of the main path that you're supposed to follow. There are no graphically demanding scenes whatsoever. So, yeah, of course your frame rate's going to be better there, motherfucker.
Well, Brad,
there's nothing to
allow
render.
me to retort. So, you know, this is his little spiel. Oh, 1, 2, let me give you all the names. I say, well, you know what? We tested this on 5 Linux boxes now. To our credit, I pointed out the performance concerns 2 days before the review. Because the developers sent us the keys, and we're all trying to be nice with this. Hey, fix your shit, bro. There was no FERPs hit while recording at 720p. There is not an issue. And good sir, press the mute button, because he was bitching. He was like, people are being rude and talking. And I was like, just hit the mute button, look in the upper right-hand corner, and see that the FERPs are displayed. And the first scene lasts 13 minutes and 25 seconds and runs at sub 30 at 720. Using a 980, we might have a problem, yes. I'm glad it works on Windows, because remember, he's talking about his Windows experience. But that's like saying my favorite color is blue. It has nothing to do with performance on Linux that we tested. And, boom. All right. Here come the developers. They're like, good, we're on it. And he's like, oh, yes, it's my fault. And I was like, fuck off, Brad. Seriously. Don't mess with a Chairquisition. Up next.
Rudy Bleeker says, thanks. I was genuinely interested in this game because it looked pretty cool on Steam. Thank God I waited for your review and playthrough. What a mess.
This is regarding Sons of Nor.
Sons of Nor.
Yeah.
Did you even see any of that business last week, man? It was just nightmare fuel and carnage.
I was watching it mostly like this, but yeah, I definitely it was a thing. It was a thing.
You didn't have to experience it. That was
yeah, that was something.
I mean, I definitely heartbleed right there.
Yes,
Damien.
Well, I was going to say Matt has an old version of OpenSSL, but yeah, I forgot. So Damien Baffile, I'm baffled by his last name, says, I forgot how these guys just whine and bitch about everything. This is a terrible review of this game.
That
Yes,
was
whining and
Pillars of
bitching
Eternity?
about the part where we gave it, 3 chairs.
Well, what I fear is that our young friend might prefer something along the lines of, I'm PewDiePie! Or call
I mean, yeah, I have a falsetto, but I don't think I can go that high because my balls dropped. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just a pro tip, Brad. I mean, if you're comparing us to stuff like that, you're not going to have a good time. I'm just going to say. No.
But then again, Pillars of Eternity, we were pretty much drooling all over that game.
Well,
the hell
except
was
for
this
Ben,
problem?
but he hates everything.
Yeah, except Ben. But we've also had someone wondering about Ven's voice. Alessandro Ebersol asks, are you the voice of Honest Trailers triple question mark?
Bitch, he might be.
Bitch, I might be. I don't want to sound negative about that at all, because I first thought you meant the guy from Cinema Sins or Movie Mistakes or whatever it's called this week. I was like, I don't sound a fucking thing like that. And I was like, oh, Honest Movie Trailers. And I listened to that. I was like, yeah, no, sir, I don't hear it. I mean, I'm just very much doing the horse from Ren and Stimpy. No, sir, at all. We're talking about a guy who's had his own voice matched as content ID on YouTube. and I had to fight YouTube on that. It was brilliant, and it's happened twice. Matt, do I sound like any of those fine young cannibals?
No, I think they're reaching for that. I really do. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
The thing in common is that their voices are actually the honest trailer's guy's voice isn't actually that deep. He just does a voice. This is Ben's natural speaking
That's just
voice.
it. Yeah, it's the voice. The voice portrayal, whatever it may be. I mean, I don't think the similarities are there. I definitely see that. Okay, there's obviously professionalism in both, and sure, that's fine. But I don't think that they can actually grab onto that and make a claim that it's the same
just
thing.
accuse me of professionalism.
Plus, Ben's whole shtick is he rips off Jeremy Clarkson anyways. So,
And on that bombshell, let's cue the music, because you can always find us about 9:30 Eastern Standard Moon Time, hanging out live. Join in Chat Realm. It's brilliant. It's awesome. We love you. They love you back, and all this business. Support us on the Patreons. Kick us a few quid if you find this just a little bit entertaining. I'm Vince Stone. You can always find me at Vince Stone plus Vince Stone on the G+s.
I'm Jordan Svung. You can find me at The Burning Fool on Twatters, or plus Jordan Svung on the Goggle Plus.
Okay, I cannot beat that mispronunciation of social networks. I am Pedro Mateos. You can find me on Google Plus at plus Pedro Mateos, or on Twitter at unaccounted4.
And you can find me at matthartley.com. Subscribe and watch me do random monkey things.
He's also plus Matt Hartley. Look at this modest motherfucker right here. Also, check out his writings at the Datamations. He's got a podcast of his own with his wife, Organ. What's it called again?
It is often I often mispronounce this, but basically it is Married and Amused. And sometimes it's Married and Abused, and other times it's just Married and Confused. It really depends on the
Where
day.
can they find that?
Best place to go is just to matthartley.com/YouTube, I think, for video. I don't know. Just go to the matthartley.com. You find it there.
It's going to be there.
Slash
You can
fiction.
see him with
Got it.
swords.
Yeah,
It's
slash
going to be
fiction.
brilliant. And so, I guess just at the end of the day, what should we remember that? Oh, right. You paid for Matt, and we delivered it. Isn't that right?
That's right.
No!
Damn right.
Oh.
You get what you pay
It's
for.
actually it's actually fake, Matt. We just hired a lookalike.
I'm actually a Muppet.
It is a very elaborate. We'll repurpose one of the P-Man Mark IVs.
Mm-hmm.
That was
We
not a
had to dye
pretty
the skin
process.
a lot paler.
Well, in all fairness, we had to put it in whiteface, but
Yes.